Hi, welcome everybody. This is Feel Real's Doctor's Office with yours truly, Dr. Teddy. I got my specialist today, Giovanni. We're going to go through our next patient, and it is King Arthur, the one with Clive Owen. The diagnosis for this movie is dissociative identity disorder. This movie sadly doesn't know what movie it wants to be or is trying to be. We're going to help it out, find out who it needs to be, and then hopefully send it along a better path. Alright, so we got to set it off. A little bit of history. What is King Arthur? And King Arthur, I gotta tell you, it has been done quite a bit. You got 37 adaptations, 16 modernization, 15 animation, and this story has been around since
37?
Yep, we counted them. And it was like, this story's been around from the 5th century. So we know this movie.
I mean, they even did the animated one, remember the Swords of Stone?
Yep, I'm telling you, it was one of my favorites. So I'm glad this movie did not take too much time into its origin story. It's one of those, we know it, what do you got new, or are you going to do it to perfection? That's the
then again, in this argument, when was the last time you did see the origin story of King Arthur?
I think the one before this one was a cartoon 2 years before this,
yeah,
and a live action about 4 years before this. Okay. And it's just like when you have like such an established story,
yeah,
the only thing you can do is either present something new that we haven't seen before and take a risk,
yeah,
or do it to such perfection that that is King Arthur.
Yeah.
That was the King Arthur I came for, and it was done to perfection. Sadly, this movie did not go down that direction. So there's 4 reasons. When you go to a King Arthur movie, there's a few things you expect and want to see on the screen. A little bit of magic, and a little bit can go from like a lot to be like, just enough to have that presence to be like anything can happen.
Pretty much, I would give the ratio like Game of Thrones stuff, like 50-50.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I was like, there's still some
you have to 80-20, but at least 50-50.
Like there's some still army stuff that still counts, but like if you got magic, you're a game changer.
Yeah, you have to have magic.
Next to this is Excalibur. That sword is famous and it is a game changer.
Yeah, right? I don't even think they even brought it up in the movie.
It was. They didn't even say the name of the sword.
No, right?
It was special because it was his dad's. I mean, I guess that's cool for you, but like, it is nothing for me.
No, right? No, but they don't really like go into, because obviously this is the famous sword of who's gonna take it out. They don't really get into the movie.
No, it was his father's sword. He died with it, and the only thing that when he came from that, he pulled it from his grave when he had to try to save his mom. Unfortunately, in this one.
Yeah.
This one, Merlin and Arthur. That relationship is key to the story of Arthur, because Merlin's the one who brings him from the bottom to now we're here, to quote Drake. And it's important because you get that mentor and mentee.
Hey, Merlin.
Merlin's the wizard.
Yeah.
And basically makes Arthur do who he is and makes him the man that England needs to be to unite everybody. Yeah. Another is unification of Britain. He's the king who becomes king. Like he becomes king. I said it 3 times because that's what it needs to be.
He's king, right?
And the most I feel like is important is his knights, because when you got your boys behind you,
it's really
anything can happen.
And Knights in the Round Table.
Yeah, you can either see the story of like how you build that relationship, or it's already set up and when we go to battle, they're behind me 100%.
Well, I mean, let's give them credit though. And we're talking about the movie. I personally felt like that was a group. Like that was a family. Like if you die, that's gonna hurt me. If like that really felt.
I definitely give that proud. But first, we gotta see where we went wrong. All right, where did this movie lose itself? All right. So I feel like this movie was more a swords and sandal movie.
Yeah.
And what that means is basically a battle movie with just swords, shields, spears, and the whatnot. And I feel like you presented me with something that could have been Lord of the Rings, but you gave me 300. And that's nothing wrong with it. I would watch 300 any day. I would watch Lord of the Ring any day. But when you tell me I'm going to watch a certain movie and you flip it and you give me another movie, it definitely hurts. Like I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just going to watch a bunch of people like fight each other. That's cool. I thought I was going to get some magic. I thought we were going to get some history, like little mystery.
Yeah, they don't even embrace it.
Like they could have went down like the Saving Private Ryan story where like, hey, this is old England. You know all those battles you knew about? This is a different battle with some different guys. Because like the actors and everybody are still great in this movie, but like why do you got to give them titles that they end up disappointing to? I was like, oh, really, guys? And they changed some stuff about this. As like they give her a Romanic Arthur, which is kind of bugs me because he's supposed to be England's like true and true, the comeback king, and it's just like
then the other guy gets just his friend right on Chris at one point.
Yeah,
best friend.
And it's just like, oh no, dude, I'm going to Rome. Rome was way better, and they made England barbaric in this one, which kind of bugs me because like
the dudes are fighting
like this
Vikings type of stuff.
Yeah, no, not even the Vikings. The Saxons were the Vikings. The barbaric blue people. Yeah, those are Britons.
The ones from the woods, right?
And it's just like, okay, that doesn't even match the civilization at that point. Now you're just going historically wrong. But that's just cool. Because you're giving me like, just a random fight story. Oh wait, no, you're doing King Arthur. This hurts. Alright, next thing we have got, there's no magic whatsoever in this entire
movie. They're not even like it for a second.
Not even a little bit. Not a little card trick. Not even like...
a little card trick.
Not even like, what's that behind your ear? Oh, it's nothing. It's just your ear. And it's like, they pwned Merlin. Like how you gonna take the most recognized magician in history, in folklore, and you'd be like, no, you got nothing. You're just some Harry dude in the woods. So he goes, don't kill him. Go ahead and kill him. That's basically all you got.
There was no magic.
Like they give him a little braggadocious, like he leads an army. He has like 5 dudes behind him with bow and arrows. I'm like, dude, so disappointing. They make a more religious movie. And they kind of bug me because I didn't.
Oh yeah, that was. See.
So let me go back to that.
That doesn't go with the movie, obviously. But it was a cool one because he always prayed. I think he was from Rome, so he prayed to his God. And it kind of had a conflict with his best friend because they didn't really. At one point he tells him, he's like, why is I praying with him? Why don't you pray with me? Like, I've always, at the end of the day, I always got your back. It's kind of conflict, whatever. So that was fine. Obviously didn't go with the movie and stuff.
I was like, why is religion in this King Arthur movie? Oh man. And this movie kind of has a hard time figuring out what movie it kind of wants to be.
One last job.
Yeah, this is like they started like one last job. Like guys, I know we've been through a lot. We got one more job.
He's like, yeah, because the whole
which
point
guarantees someone's gonna die.
Yeah.
And he's like, son of a bitch.
The whole point is, at the beginning when they come back from a mission and they give him like a little,
they're supposed to get their release papers,
and it's like we're done, boom, and at the end he's like, you're done. But then they do like the shady shit with it. So King Arthur, they don't have to come, but we need you to do this. But obviously it's like, which one of the good things they did, their family's like, no, if you go, obviously we have to go. But they get pissed off because at one point they all have families, and they're like, dude, like, what the hell, like, I can come back and spend time with my kids. I have to go back again. So see that there are good moments.
Yeah.
There are good moments.
Like that is great. That is a great movie to have.
Yeah.
But then you also got the Question of Faith movie. Arthur's like, God, why? Why is this? I'm like, I have no problem with having that movie. But this is also King Arthur. Like, he's technically not supposed to have religion in this movie. And then you have like the ragtag. That's the part I liked about this movie. The ragtag team. We're a bunch of dudes. I got a huck. What you got? Got bow and arrow. That's cool, bro.
Or even the big ass dude with the big.
Even the monstrosity.
The way, I mean.
Okay.
It's some spoilers, I guess. You now watch the movie. But the scene in the ice where he just.
Oh yes. The monstrosity guy.
He's about to die and he has to break the ice. I'm like, wait.
The ride or die guy in the crew.
That was so
That's why I like part. And then it's supposedly be a King Arthur movie, but then you have like all the elements missing. And then at the end you have like another Swords of Sandal movie, like where it's a big war at the end. So you have like all these elements combined, confusing. You're like, what am I watching? What is this going to end up to be? And I feel like it just takes away from the movie.
Yeah, and going back to what he said about the whole 300 movies, like Sword and Sandal, you put yourself at a disadvantage because there's not that many good ones. Like I can name you from like way back when, but I can name you one. But like recently, what's the last great? I'm not saying just good. I mean great Sword and Sandal.
I think it was 300. That was like the last one.
And think about it. And that one, I think is I wouldn't call it even great. I think it's good, but I wouldn't put like it's not a Braveheart Sword and Sandal movie. No. It's not Gladiator. You know what I'm saying? Those are great ones, right? You're amazing. Like, there hasn't been that many. So when you're going for that, people will be like, are we kind of expectation of is it going to be good because we've been let down so many times?
So that's what's wrong with this one. But we got some healthy vital signs. We're going to look at some of the organs that are keeping this movie alive.
Stop doing it.
So this one, we have some great supporting cast. Like some of these characters you feel more than for Arthur, to be honest. These are the most the interesting fighters.
Terrible.
This guy was the Hawkeye Tristan.
Oh,
he had a great swordsmanship.
He couldn't talk. That was his thing.
He had a great bow and arrow, and it was just like the guy ride or die. This guy had the axe and the knife. He was a great fighter, hand to hand, especially right at the beginning of the first fight scene.
Yeah, it's just these are really good actors. Like he's from Rogue One, Joe Edgerton, like seriously. Warrior.
And then you got the lovable characters, the heart and soul, the heart and lungs that breathe life into this movie. This guy, he has unquestioning faith for Arthur. I love that. He takes care of the little kid. He's like, I got this. Whatever job you got me, I got you. So when he passed, it hurt. This guy was hilarious beyond belief.
Oh my god, his wife. There's a scene with his wife. Like certain songs you remember. I always going back to the same scene. She had a beautiful ass voice. Like, should I sing?
He has kids.
Yeah. The like 7 or 8.
Yeah. He has like.
And the joke that he can't remember all their names.
He doesn't name them. He gives them numbers. That's how.
Because he doesn't.
It takes too long to name them.
Yeah.
So it's like these two are great. The banter they have with all each other is great.
Yeah.
It just keeps the movie moving. I would have to say there's some underwhelming characters. This guy, I don't even remember his name. but he was the punk who was like, "Oh, Arthur, why do we have to go?"
He was pretty much the best friend of the Joe Edgerton character.
Yeah.
You could tell they were like related. I don't know if they were related, but you could tell they were the most.
He's the whiny guy. I didn't enjoy him. This guy, the only reason he's disappointing is because they named him Lancelot. And with that name carries weight in the King Arthur movie. He's supposed to be the best swordsman. He's better than Arthur with a sword.
Yeah.
Just minus the fact that it's Excalibur. And he's supposed to be Arthur's boy through and through. Like, but this one, he questioned like every time. Arthur, why we gotta go? Arthur, why don't you talk to me? Arthur, why are you staying? I'm like, oh my god. If you're his best friend, be his best friend. Or get off my face. Like, give him another name.
Yeah, at one point they go over with the same girl, sort of.
Kind of. Keira Knightley just kind of flirts with both of them. I don't like that.
Yeah, but the whole
like,
point is, as your best friend, be like, dude.
I'm like, stop.
You didn't go there. But then I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's just, ugh. I would put her up there. But she's pretty good at fighting.
When they're a main character.
There's actually decent fighting in this movie.
Is it fighting?
There's actually decent fighting in this movie. Like, it's not like distractingly bad. This is way before the time where like they use a lot of cut edits for a fight to make it look good. So you get a little like actual sword fighting, actually like moving about. They use the horses pretty good.
Because the worst is when you have like over the shoulder in a sword fight because you don't even know you just see the thing coming.
Yeah. And then it has a great antagonist. I'll tell you, this guy was a.
Oh, his son was good too.
Yeah,
his son was an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but even his father was amazing. I was like, this guy was a problem. This guy you needed to take out.
Yeah.
And when he meets you on the battlefield, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Like, get Arthur. This is not funny, guys. Like, he actually takes out Tristan, the hot guy. I'm so mad.
Oh, that one hurt.
Yeah.
That's probably the one that most you heard.
So this movie. Oops, sorry.
Healthy buddies.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Oops, we went far back.
There's some technical difficulties.
All right, so this movie, it just doesn't know where it's going. It needs to focus up where it needs to be. Fortunately, you can't remake a movie once it's out, but it's a solid movie to watch. It has some great points. It probably doesn't deserve the hate that it really does, but
No.
you know, and it doesn't.
I would say this though, like if, like you were saying, like we want to tell, it didn't know when we want to tell. It just wasn't educated, like because like you said, it was no magic, and they knew that going in.
Yeah.
But the point was. No, you don't have magic. You're gonna tell the story that you wanted to, and that was really fell apart.
Yeah. So as a King Arthur movie, it did bad, but as a movie with the dudes with a bunch of swords, not bad. Worth a watch. All right. So this is our patient for the day. We're gonna send them on their way. If you have any other patients you want to look at, any prescriptions we missed, please let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time in the doctor's office.